G'day guys, Daikaiju Down Under here. You read the title, you know what's in here, let's get straight into opening. I purchased this figure from Sugo Toys. They are an Australian retailer here. I'm not affiliated, this is not sponsored, but I mean, hey, open to offers. Let's just crack that open. Let's get this out of the way. There we go. Shipper box, SH MonsterArts Godzilla 2024 Evolved version from Godzilla Kong the New Empire. So what we'll do, take our Kong axe, work in progress. Now that I have this figure, I can actually work on this a little more. And let's just open that box. Dabbing up there, cutting across here, and we will release this figure. So it looks like we've got more tape over on this side. Now, I apologize for the shaky cam, guys. I do have a new tripod, and it is mounted to the actual desk here. So just bear with me while I'm doing this little segment here. That's why the camera is shaking. Now, I haven't seen any reviews for this figure. I want to go in completely blind, and then that way my thoughts and opinions that I share in this video are completely unbiased. They're completely my own. Love that sound. That is fantastic. All right, there's that box. Let's get this one out of the way. Move this over here. There we go. This is a rather nice looking box here, guys. SH MonsterArts Godzilla Kong the New Empire, Godzilla 2024 Evolved version from Godzilla Kong the New Empire. I believe that says Bandai Spirits there. Monsterverse logo up the top. Bandai Namco. Now, again, taking this Kong axe. Let's move that forward. You can see I haven't cut the tape there. Dropping the axe. Let's get that open. Out damaging the box too much. There we go. Alright, first initial impressions, guys. Again, I've gone in completely blind on this. I have seen some photos over on Instagram. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram account. But I haven't seen any YouTube reviews or anything like that. So I want to go in completely blind. So here's the figure in the clamshell. Do I look at the eyes yet? No, let's save it. So a P Bandai figure, does that mean it's going to have tape here? Looks like the answer is no. So we should be able just to crack the clamshell just like that. Slide that out of the way. Here's Godzilla. Let's take off the plastic sleeve here. Let's get out his clawed hands and we'll take a quick look at those first. Really nice. Those look pretty clean, pretty decent paint applications on those. Pretty ugly seam line on this hand here. Not the biggest fan of that, but that's okay. Taking a look at the figure itself. Let's remove that plastic clam. Move this plastic shell here. Alright, you guys ready? I know I am. And Godzilla's head and tail are completely gone. Okay. Alright, cool. Well, let's get that out of the way. So the tip of Godzilla's tail fell off here. Really nice detail. That looks really thin, really sharp there. Nice thagomizers there on the end of Godzilla's tail. I wish he actually used that in Godzilla Kong the New Empire. I mean, he does hit Scar King with the tail, but he doesn't actually use the tip of his tail for anything meaningful, I don't think. But with the head detached, we might as well get a close look at that. Let's look at that now. I know the lighting's a bit bad at the moment, guys. Let me just try to fix that for you. Okay, Godzilla is looking relatively straight for the most part. Paint on the teeth aren't awful on this side. Paint on the bottom of the jaw. Not awful on this side either. There's a little bit of pink overspray on that side of the mouth. Not too much pink on the head there as well. And there is some more pink overspray in the front there. Jaw does open and closes. Alright, let's get that head back onto Godzilla, shall we? If we can, nice and easily. Maybe we can't do that nice and easily. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to cut back here after I've heat treated this with a hair gun, and then we'll do some articulation and stuff like that. Sounds good? Excellent. Alright guys, I've cleaned up the workspace and I've hit this figure with the hairdryer just to loosen up some of those joints. So now what we'll do is we'll do some articulation range testing. So what we'll do is we'll start with Godzilla's head. So now that that's been put on properly, you can see that moves around really nice. That's not popping off or anything. Looks like you got 3 or 4 segments there. Godzilla can look pretty far either side. There you go, that doesn't look too bad, does it? That's almost a cool pose right there. So the head moves pretty nice. Test out those shoulders. Nice and solid. Standard ball joint there. Elbows, nothing's popping off, everything's looking good there. The wrists are also moving pretty well. I have put those alternate hands on, the more clawy battle ready hands. Those look really nice. Moving Godzilla up a little bit. So this upper part of the chest here moves really nice, really deep stretch there. That's incredible. And look at all of that, painted and detailed underneath there in that joint. There's a pretty ugly gap there though. That's not fantastic. Is that, so you cover it by having Godzilla facing down, but then that leaves a little bit of a gap up here, and then I guess vice versa. Alright, so sort of pick your poison, I guess. That's not the best design engineering. I wonder if that's been misassembled. We'll come back to that in a minute. That mid-torso is also not moving pretty much at all. That's really stiff and solid in there. I do wonder if something's gone wrong in here. We'll definitely take a look at that. Move on to that tail. Oh, incredible articulation of the tail. Look at that. You can get a nice, crazy curve there. Pretty nice. So that's not bad at all. Do like how that's turned out. Getting my gloves caught there. This little bit's also sort of sticking out a little bit. Again, I wonder if that's been misassembled. And then you have the tip of the tail there that fell apart. Is that the same joint that fell apart in the unboxing? Or was that the later down segment? I don't know. That should just clip right back in though. Yeah, that's not terrible. And now finally the legs here. So let's test Godzilla's hip range. That's pretty good. You have a joint cover there. There you go. That's nice. Nice movement there. Knees fully stretched out. Oh, looks like there's another joint cover in there. That's really nice. Yeah, really nice bend in there. Deep ankles. Very good. So the articulation on this guy is actually really cool. Sure, you can get him into some really dynamic poses. So not too dissatisfied with that. Not super thrilled about this, but I wonder if that's just... Let's take that apart and we'll see. So usually you can tell if it's been misassembled because the solid articulation point isn't quite sitting inside the shell properly. You can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but there is a lot of glue residue in there. But it does look like it's sitting in there properly. Huh, I don't know, is that isolated to my figure or is that something that all of them have? I guess I will have to start checking out some other reviews there. That's sitting in perfectly fine. So I don't think that bit's been misassembled, I don't know. But detail-wise as well, just looking at that, Godzilla is very well detailed. You can see a little bit of a seam line or a mold line there. That's not fantastic. A little bit of flashing on that joint there as well. Another joint line here. Not too unhappy with the details. They've captured that nice armor plating look. Still got those bits there. Nice claw on the elbow there. Detail is looking really nice. I mean, there's some areas that have just a little bit more to be desired, but the head there, that's also pretty nice. Not too much flash there for the joints or anything. Talking about the inside of the mouth, that's well detailed. Alright, so Godzilla is very nicely detailed. I mean, especially those spines, those look really nice. Lots of intricate details in there. Cool. So the detail's nice, the articulation's also pretty nice. The paint job, however, now that is something that is a little bit on the unfortunate side. So as you can see, a lot of the dry brushing across Godzilla's body is pretty messy. It's not very well implemented. You can see that on the arm there. Belly and stuff's pretty okay. That's not too bad. Legs are also rather nice. I think it's just an unfortunate combination of green and then a yellowy mustard green dry brushing. It just doesn't really look that great. Looks like there's absolutely nothing on the tail though. That's annoying. It just suddenly stops at that segment there. Is that the same on that side? Yes, it is. So no dry brushing at all on the tail. A little bit of pink there. That's not too much of a big deal. Those claws on the toes though, those are hideous. You've got that greenish sort of yellowy mustard dry brushing, and then it looks like that's on all of them. The tips have been painted this just gaudy black there. I'm sure that could probably have looked better. And then of course, I looked at it before, but the head, the eyes, despite being relatively centered, not too bad on my copy, they could be a little better. Those teeth are actually really, really clean on this left side. There's just a tiny bit of pink overspray there. And then on the right side, those also look pretty nicely well painted. Just looks like from dead on. It's just a tiny bit. I can't tell if that's pinkish white overspray or if that's the color of Godzilla's skin has gone into the gums a little bit there. I don't know, but either way, that's just slightly off. But it's not too bad. Overall, I'd say the articulation and the detail are very, very nice. The paint is relatively okay. I mean, it does leave a little to be desired, but it does look like Godzilla Evolved. It moves well, details well, paint's okay. It comes with accessories, so you do get those hands as well. It's always a plus when an SH MonsterArts figure comes with accessories. Let's do some size comparisons, and then I'll do a quick overall thoughts. Here we can see how the SH MonsterArts Evolved Godzilla stacks up against the SH MonsterArts Kong from Godzilla Kong The New Empire. This figure here does have a custom head sculpt and a custom axe. I will be doing a video on him at some point. Let's do another comparison. So here we can see how the SH MonsterArts Evolved Godzilla stacks up against his pre-evolved form. As you can see, this figure here is a little bigger than the pre-evolved Godzilla, as I think it should be. I believe that's accurate to the movie. This guy's standing pretty much straight up, while Godzilla here on the left is a little more crunched forward, and even then is a little bit bigger. So I think that checks out. Let's do one more comparison. And finally, the Monsterverse Mechagodzilla. As you can see, Mechagodzilla is still about a good head or so taller than Evolved Godzilla. Let me know down in the comment section below, which one of these two do you think would win in a fight? Would Mechagodzilla be able to beat Evolved Godzilla, or has Evolved Godzilla gained new abilities that would make Mechagodzilla easy pickings? Let me know down in the comment section below. I think that about wraps it up, guys. We've covered articulation, we've covered detail, and we've covered size comparisons. Overall, I think this figure is actually pretty solid. I enjoy it for what you get. The detail is really nice. The articulation, this thing moves really, really, really well. So the articulation's also pretty great. He sizes up next to the other Monsterverse Kaiju and Titans and whatnot pretty well as well. Overall, I think you get a pretty solid package when you buy this. Of course, there are some issues I had with the figure, mainly just some of the paint quality in certain areas, like the feet. Some of the articulation and joint construction as well just leaves a little bit to be desired. Overall though, I mean, you do get some accessories in the form of hands. You do get a nice figure. You get a nice evolved looking Godzilla. I think at the end of the day, this thing was worth my investment personally, and I'm happy that I purchased it. Did you purchase this figure? Let me know down in the comment section below. I've been Daikaiju Down Under, and until next time, I'll see you all in the next video.